Oh my God, really? The whole temple's. Okay.
I'm gonna get one.
I got a little doily one. I don't ever wear. Do you want a different one? There's small ones. Let's try it. It looks nice. And you have an angel shirt on. Did you catch that?
It's like I bought it. Great. I was like,
yes, you are. Forget it.
Today I went and I sang English Catholic Mass and I sang a French Catholic Mass and then I took a Congregation Special and then I did a Spanish Catholic Mass. Rabbi, what do I know? This choir is last show off. I just excited. I can be inside. You don't know. You're like, it's not your sister yet.
I do believe these are on already, so.
So I had to review. You know,
not that I don't want to sit for you, but it's my mother.
And double. And we all get along, we dress together. I didn't grow up. Oh, yeah.
Here we are. Showtime.
You know what it is? It's Canadian.
Here I am. Maybe. I heard all the women were full caftans and their luxury leisure wear.
Hello, everyone.
I was horrified.
Before we begin, we're going to begin in a moment or two. I know you've probably been asked already, but I'm going to ask folks who are sitting in the back to come up a few more rows. You'll still be in the back, but you'll be closer to the bima, and we won't feel like we're so dispersed in the room. So if you're sitting in one of the back pews, please move up 1 or 2 rows so the empty spaces get filled, okay? Thank you.
I always sit here. This is where we sit. I'm like, no.
Also, for those of you who are using our assisted listening devices, which we have for the first time, you can if you're not sure and you haven't picked them up, but you reserve them, Stacy has them for you in the foyer. And she has extra earphones if you didn't bring your earphones. And you have an individual volume control so that you can adjust the volume, and hopefully that will make sure that you're able to hear everything that happens tonight. Okay? Page 7.
הנני, hey אני נמאס, נרעש ונפחד, מפחד יושב תהילות ישראל. באתי לעמוד ולחנן רחוני, אף על פי שאיני חדי והגון לכך, על כן אבקשך, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה. אדוני, אדוני, אל רחום וחנון, אלוהי ישראל, שדי יום ונורא, הנה מצליח דרכי, אשר אנוכי הולך לעמוד ולבקש, רחמים עלי ועל שולחי. נא אל תפשיים בחטאותיי, ואל תכוון בעוונותיי, כי חוטא ופושע אני. ואל יקלמו בפשעי, ואל אבושה בהם, וקבלי כתפילת זקן ורגיל ופרקו נאה, וקולו נעים ומעורב בדעת עם הבריות. ברוך אתה שומע תפילה.
Here I am, so poor in deeds, I tremble in fear, overwhelmed and apprehensive before you, to whom Israel sings praise. Although unworthy, I rise to pray and seek favor for your people Israel, for they have entrusted me with this task. Therefore, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God of Sarah, Rebekah, Leah, and Rachel, Adonai, Adonai, merciful, gracious God of Israel, who inspires awe, I pray to you for success on my path. I pray for myself and my community. Do not hold them responsible for my wrongs and offenses. May my deeds cause them no shame, and may their deeds cause me no shame. Accept my prayer as though it were offered by one more worthy of this task, a scholar, proficient in prayer, unblemished in character, pleasing in voice. Let love be our banner, let it banish our wrongs. May Israel's strife and misfortunes be turned into joy, renewed life and peace. Love, peace, and truth, may they prevail among us, and may there be no impediment to my prayer. Adonai, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God of Sarah, Rebekah, Leah, and Rachel, great, mighty, awe-inspiring God Most High, who said to Moses, I will be what I will be. May it be your will that my prayer reach your presence for the sake of the righteous and blameless, the honest and pure of heart, for the sake of your glory. You hear your people's prayer with passion. Blessed are you, the one who hears prayer.
Here I am, one soul within this prayer community. Like those around me, I bring my own concerns and yours, hoping they will find expression in the time-hallowed words of my people and in the traditions cherished by generations before me. May I bring the best of my energies to these holy days, approaching this spiritual work with open heart and mind, sincerity and sustained focus on the deep questions of this season. Who am I? How shall I live? Where have I fallen short or failed? This night I take up the challenge of the days of awe, Cheshbon HaNefesh, a searching examination of my life, a moral inventory of my deeds, words, and thoughts. During the next 10 days, let me face the truth about myself and listen to your still small voice, taking comfort in your promise that I am always free to change. Released from staleness and routine, let me know the joy of beginning again. May I gain strength as I share this task with those around me, united by our common purpose. Tikkun Midot, improving our characters, and Tikkun Olam, repairing the world. I now prepare myself to pray, one soul amidst this holy congregation.
We continue on page 5. Page 5. This is Rosh Hashanah. Each of us enters this sanctuary with a different need. Some hearts are full of gratitude and joy. They are overflowing with the happiness of love and the joy of life. They are eager to confront the day to make the world more fair. They are recovering from illness or have escaped misfortune, and we rejoice with them. We read together. Some hearts ache with sorrow. Disappointments weigh heavily upon them, and they have tasted despair. Families have been broken. Loved ones lie on a bed of pain. Death has taken those whom they cherished. May our presence and sympathy bring them comfort. Some hearts are embittered. They have sought answers in vain, have had their ideals mocked and betrayed. Life has lost its meaning and value. May the knowledge that we too are searching restore their hope that there is something to find together. Some spirits hunger, they long for friendship, they crave understanding, they yearn for warmth. May we in our common need gain strength, sharing our joys, lightening each other's burdens, and praying for the welfare of our community. Page 2B. Page 2B.
The first mitzvah in the Torah is Yehi, or let there be light. So we are commanded, in everything you do, be a menorah, a bringer of light. Live with honor, act with integrity, do your work with passion, and the radiance of your deeds will live after you. May our ideals burn bright, forever unextinguished, and may we live our lives like the flames we kindle, always stretching upward, striving for the good, reaching for you.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Yom Tov.
Page 6. Page 6. Baruch atah Adonai, shomea kol truat amo Yisrael b'rachamim. Blessed are you in our lives, Eternal One, who hears with love the shofar, the true voice of your people Israel. Page 8B. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu. Yehi ratzon shenizika levirchotecha bishnat chameshet alafim u'shva me'ot v'shivim v'tesha. Our God and God of our ancestors, may we know your blessings in the year 5779. Eternal One, bless us and the whole house of Israel with renewed life, happiness and peace, comfort and courage, resilience and strength. May the words of our heart be acceptable to you in the new year that stretches before us. We are forever grateful for the gift of life. Page 9. If one prays with the tongue, but the heart is occupied with unrelated matters, one's prayer is like a body without a soul, like a shell that is empty of substance. To what may we compare this? Let's read together. It is like the case of a man who invited his employer to dine at home with him. The man charged all the members of his household to serve his employer and attend to his needs, but the man left the house to occupy. So it is with us when we pray by rote, without concentrating on the words we utter. The Baal Habayit, the master of the house, is our mind, which directs our eyes to look at the Siddur, our lips to pronounce the prayers, and our limbs to stand, sit, or bow throughout the service. But when our mind is elsewhere, of what value is our prayer? May we enter into worship with kavanah, with attentive mind and focused heart, fully present in this moment of prayer. We rise for Baruch Hu on 9a.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
seated. On page 10. Bless Adonai, who spins day into dusk. With wisdom watch the dawn gates open. With understanding let time and seasons come and go. With awe perceive the stars in lawful orbit. Morning dawns, evening darkens. Darkness and light yielding one to the other, yet each distinguished and unique. Marvel at life, strive to know its ways, seek wisdom and truth, the gateways to life's mysteries. Wondrous indeed is the evening twilight. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, creator of twilight and dusk.
Beth Israel, Amacha, Torah mitzvot, Chukim mishpatim, Otanu limadetam. Adonai Elohecha, bechol levavcha, ubechol nafshecha, ubechol me'otecha, ve'hayu advarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibartam, v'shivtecha b'reitecha, u'v'lechtecha b'derech, u'v'shokbecha u'v'kumecha, u'ksharta me'ot al yadecha, v'hayu totachot bein einecha, u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'v'isharecha. Leman ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 15b. Mitzrayim is not just a place, map, where a narrow strait blocks the way between two seas. Mitzrayim is a place in us, where a narrow strait blocks the sea, which is our soul, from reaching the sea, which is its source. Page 17.
מי כמוך בעדים אדוני, מי כמוך נעדר הקודש, נורות עלילות עושה חלק, מלכותך ראו פניך, חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, צאלי אנו יאמרו. נאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגלה ביד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, ברכו ברוך שמו, גאל ישראל. Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha V'taknenu ba'etzah b'ilfanecha V'hoshienu V'ma'an shemecha V'gein Madenu V'gein Madenu V'geinu V'chaser Me'aleinu Oyev Dever Echeren V'cherem V'brav V'yagod ושמו צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום. מעתה
Baruch atah Adonai, borei sukkot shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Page 20, we rise.
ימליך מלכותי בחייכון ובמכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בהגלה ובזמן הקריב ואמרו יש מרבה לבוא ליבוא אחרי המויה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל לקודשה לעילא ולעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה ושבחתה ונאמתה תמירון נאמר ואמרו
Remain standing for Tefillah, page 21.
Adonai, sechatai tiftach, ufiach b'tehilatecha. Adonai, sechatai tiftach, ufiach b'tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips as I begin to pray. Adonai, open up my lips as I begin to pray. Adonai, Adonai, sechatai tiftach, ufiach b'tehilatecha. Adonai, Adonai, sechatai tiftach, ufiach b'tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם. למען שמו באהבה. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים, וכתבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים החיים. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכותב רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מחלקי חיים וחסד, מחיי הכל רחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומעטר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו בשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות, ומי דומה לה, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע. מי כמוך הרחמים, זוכר צוריו לחיים ברחמים, נאמן אתה בחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל.
You can be seated. And we continue on page 24B.
In your holiness, give all creation awe, turn our fear to reverence. Let us be witnesses of wonder, perceiving all nature as a prayer come alive. We bow to the sovereignty of your strength, the primacy of your power. We yearn for connection with all that lives, doing your will with levav shalem, wholeness of heart. Awe-inspiring is your creation, all-encompassing your transcendent name.
In your holiness, give your people the gift of honor. Bless with praise those who praise you. Bless with hope those who seek you. Give your believers a basis for faith, true happiness for the land of Israel, true joy in Jerusalem. May the sparks of David, your servant, soon grew bright enough for us to see a beam of light in the darkness, a promise of perfection.
In your holiness, give the righteous the gift of a vision bright with joy, a world where evil has no voice, and the rule of malevolence fades like wisps of smoke. Good people everywhere will celebrate the stunning sight of arrogance gone from the earth.
You and you alone, Adonai, will reign over creation upon Mount Zion, home of your presence, and in Jerusalem, a city set apart by you. As the psalmist believed, Adonai will reign eternally, your God Zion for all generations. Hallelujah, you are holy. Your name is awe. There is nothing divine beyond you. As the prophet Isaiah taught, the source of all might is exalted through justice, the God of holiness made holy through righteousness. Baruch atah Adonai, HaMelech HaKodesh. Blessed are you, Adonai, Holy Sovereign.
On page 27. Eternal our God, in your love you gave us this day of remembrance, a day for the shofar's joyful sound, a day of sacred assembly, a day to be mindful of our people's exodus from Egypt. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, ya'aleh v'yavo v'yagia, v'yera'eh v'yeratzeh, v'yishama v'yifaked, v'yizacher zichronenu u'fikdonenu, v'zichron avotenu, v'zichron Yerushalayim ir kodshecha, v'zichron kol amcha beit Yisrael lefanecha, l'fleita l'tova, l'chein l'chem l'shalom, b'yom hazikaron hazeh. Read together. Our God and God of our parents, may a memory of us ascend and come before you. May it be heard and seen by you, winning your favor. May it reach your awareness together with the memory of our fathers and mothers, the memory of your sacred city, Jerusalem, and the memory of your people, the family of Israel. May we be remembered for deliverance, well-being, and favor, for love and compassion, for life and peace, eternal God, on this day of memory.
Zochreinu Adonai Eloheinu b'al l'tova.
Amen.
Eternal our God, on this day of memory, remember us.
Amen.
Be mindful of us.
Amen.
And redeem us for a life of goodness and blessing.
Amen. Favor us with words of deliverance and mercy. Show us the depth of your care. God, we await your redemption, for you reign with compassion and love. Page 30. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, kadshenu b'mitzvotecha v'ten chelkenu b'toratecha, saveinu mituvecha v'samchenu b'shuatecha, v'taher libenu l'ovdecha be'emet, ki ata Elohim emet, v'dvarcha emet, v'kayam la'ad. Our God, God of our fathers and mothers, lead us to holiness through your mitzvot, and may each of us find a portion of Torah that is ours. You bestow such goodness. Teach us to know the joy of your salvation. Help us to serve you truly with purity of heart. For you are a faithful God whose truth stands forever. Baruch atah Adonai, melech al kol haaretz b'kadesh Yisrael v'yom hazikaron. Our praise to you, Eternal One, whose power pervades all the earth. We bring holiness to the people of Israel and to this day of remembrance. Page 31.
Ritzeh Tamir avodat Israel, Israel amecha. Let's see. Let's see.
Page 32B. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations. Modim anachnu lach, we give you thanks. We say together, Modim anachnu lach. For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons, Modim anachnu lach. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements, Modim anachnu lach. For humanity, human community, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression, Modim anachnu lach. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared, Modim anachnu lach. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom, Modim anachnu lach. For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose, Modim anachnu lach. We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulacha na'el hodot. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose goodness deserves praise and thanksgiving. Page 34.
us the will to proclaim His message to all the peoples of the earth. Shalom, Rabbi Yisrael, Tosim le'olam, ki atohu melech adon, le'olam shalom, le'kol b'nei nefesh, le'chaim be'tovat Yisrael. בספר חיים, ברכה ושלום, ברכה ושלום, ופרנסה טובה, ניזכר ונתקצר לפניך. אנחנו בכל עמך, בית ישראל, חיים טובים, לחיים טובים ושלום. שלום בית ישראל, ברכה ושלום, ברכה ושלום, כי אתה ופרנסה טובה, וזכר ונתקצר לשמך. אנחנו בכל עמך, בית ישראל, לחיים טובים, לחיים טובים ושלום. Inscribe us in the book of life, blessings and peace. Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch Hu, Baruch Shemo. Ohev Shalom. Amen.
It is written, listen to my words, God. Understand my meditation. King David said, Master of the universe, when I have the strength to stand before you in prayer and express my words, listen to me. But when I do not have the strength, understand what is in my heart. The Talmud teaches, silence is good for the wise. Certainly, it is so for the foolish. We take a moment for silence, a moment for God to understand that which is in our hearts.
יהיו רצון אמרי והגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri v'goali. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri v'goali.
Mishaberach Avotenu, Avraham Yitzhak v'Yaakov Imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, Hu Yivarech et Achonim. We ask God's blessing upon all those who are sick and in need of healing. We include in our Mishaberach this evening members of our community who are not present with us in the Beit Tefillah, but have joined us through the live streaming of this service to their homes. We wish them a refuah shlema, complete healing, and look forward to welcoming them back into our Beit Tefillah. In addition to those folks, there are many others who we know, sick, in need of healing, of body or of spirit in this moment. I ask you to take a moment and share the names of people you know who are sick by calling them out loud enough for those around you to hear their names. We ask you to call their names out now.
Photo, Jennifer Crosby.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu yivarech otam v'yitein lahem refuah shlema, refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf. We pray that the Holy Blessed One will send to each of these people whom we've named, and to all those who are in need of healing, complete healing, a healing of body. Say, Amen.
Mishaberach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. Mishaberach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Mishaberach Avotenu, Mishaberach Imotenu, Mishaperach Imotenu, Sarah Rivka Leah, Serachah. May the one May the one who blessed our fathers hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with a vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Mishaperach Avotenu, Mishaperach Imotenu. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
I'd like to invite Matthew Lefkowitz and Ann Camolio to come to the bima to open the ark as we turn to page 38 and rise for Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Koleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Atanu Lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, Aleinu, Aleinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Kalei Kotza, Umasti, Me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Kadvenu, Besefer Chaim Tovim. Avinu Malkeinu, Shalenu, Shalenu, Shana Tova. Avinu Malkeinu, Kadesh Aleinu, Shana Tova.
Everybody can be seated. Upon leaving the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve made a new life together. They found a new place to live, built a house, a grass hut maybe, or perhaps a tree house, like the one we might have built for our kids or like the one that Tarzan built for Jane. Life outside the garden was not easy. Every day they had to go to work. Adam worked the land, planting seeds, tilling the soil, and harvesting the crops. Eve set up shop in the marketplace, trading with the local people. Yes, there were other people. The Torah just doesn't tell us their names. Eve was the primary caregiver to their two sons, Cain and Abel, who were pretty good kids until they got a little older, but that's another story. Each day as the sun went down, they returned home from work. Adam, of course, stopping at the local shul for Minchan Mariv along the way. They were tired. They ate, fed the boys, tucked them in, and then they went to bed themselves. And in the morning, they did it all over again, and again, and again. Until one day, God heard their complaining and presented them with a gift from the Garden of Eden. And when they had removed the wrapping paper and read the card, they opened the box, and Shabbat was inside. A day of rest, when they didn't have to go to work. A day of renewal for their bodies, when in fact, they were not allowed to go to work. A day of peace and tranquility, when they could give rest and renewal to their souls as they looked to the week ahead. The high holy days and festival days require us to rest and to refrain from our work, much like on Shabbat. And so tonight, on Rosh Hashanah, we have the opportunity to, at one and the same time, rest our bodies from the burdens of the workday week that has been temporarily delayed, and renew our souls for the year that lies ahead. In celebrating Rosh Hashanah, we are reminded of the close connection between this Yom Tov and Shabbat. Rosh Hashanah celebrates creation of the universe, while Shabbat celebrates God resting upon completing the work of creation. Vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzva'am, vaychal Elohim b'yom hashvi'i melachto asher asa, vayishbot b'yom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa, v'yivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i v'yikadesh oto, kivo shavat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot. The whole universe, sky, earth, and all their array was completed. With the seventh day, God ended God's work of creation. On the seventh day, God rested with all God's work completed. Then God blessed the seventh day and called it holy. For with this day, God had completed the work of creation. In Hebrew, there are many different words for work. The most common of these is avodah, which in modern Hebrew means ordinary work. But the word for God's work of creation is malacha. And in modern Hebrew, malacha is the word that is used for the categories of work that are prohibited on Shabbat and festivals. Now, I believe that there's a great deal of misunderstanding about work, which is prohibited on Shabbat and Yom Tov. Most often people tell me that they think it is about physical exertion or effort. That is to say, Shabbat and festivals are for rest, so we should refrain from any work that causes undue physical exertion or effort. And they're surprised when I respond by saying that it has in fact nothing at all to do with physical exertion or effort. There are 39 categories of malacha, prohibited work, which are articulated in the Mishnah in the section Shabbat 7:2. And these categories are derived from the work that was done by our biblical ancestors in order to build the Mishkan in the desert, that is the tabernacle, or the traveling sanctuary, as it were. And while some of these categories, carrying and lifting and lashing, might indeed require significant physical effort, other categories like cutting and tearing and lighting a fire, which require very little exertion, are equally prohibited. So if it's not about physical effort and exertion, what is it that makes the prohibited categories prohibited and the permitted categories permitted? I want to suggest that it's simply a matter of sacred work versus ordinary work, malacha versus avodah, and that malacha is prohibited because it was God's sacred work of creation and the Israelites' sacred work of building the Mishkan. The idea of sacred and ordinary work is preserved in our own day, even though in modern Hebrew there's only one word that covers them both. As I mentioned earlier, the word is avodah. In a secular context, avodah means work, the kind that we go to each day, the work that we do around the house, the work that we bring home from the office or from school. But in a religious context, avodah means prayer and study, that is sacred work. This is the avodah, which is one of the three pillars on which the world stands, along with Torah and Gmilut Chasadim. And while we might have been wondering why the world would stand on our day-to-day office or school work, we have no trouble at all imagining a world that stands on the sacred work of study and prayer. So if there's a distinction between ordinary and sacred work, and if the distinction has nothing to do with effort or exertion, then it should be possible for each one of us to bring the sacred into the realm of the ordinary. Which leaves us with the question, how do we turn more of our ordinary work into sacred work? I believe that the answer lies in three areas: awareness, intention, and the product of our labor. Awareness is the first and most important, but perhaps the most difficult as well. For what it requires is an awareness of God's presence in all aspects of our lives. It's not enough to come to the Shabbat or the Pesach table, or to come to synagogue or some other holy place in order to meet God. Rather, it's necessary to find ways to encounter God throughout our day, maintaining an awareness of God's presence in the ordinary and in the mundane moments and activities of daily life. The mystics refer to this as dveikut, the desire to draw oneself nearer to God and hold fast unto God. It's achieved through concentration of the mind and religious piety. And a person who was able to accomplish this combination of focused mind and action was referred to as a tzaddik, a righteous person. But righteousness doesn't quite capture it. A tzaddik was simply a person who had drawn himself nearer to God than most other people, and whose life embodied the sense of dveikut. The rabbis teach in the Talmud in Brachot 43b that a person ought to recite 100 blessings a day. Think of it, 100 blessings a day, 100 times every day. We are taught that we should pause and note and appreciate and wonder at the workings of our bodies, the food we eat, the world around us, and the mitzvot that we perform. In doing this, we are expressing our gratitude and also demonstrating that we are aware that we are blessed. God is present in our lives, not only to turn to, not only to express gratitude to, but also to ask help from, to give us comfort, to expand our joy, and to relieve the burden of our sorrows. To help us with awareness, the rabbis created blessings for waking up, opening our eyes, washing our bodies, putting on our shoes, eating, traveling, lying down, and going to sleep. They created blessings for seeing the unusual and the remarkable in human beings and in the world of nature. Blessings for those things which give pleasure and those things that bring us pain. They created blessings for things we see and do for the first time and for the final moments of our lives as well. The idea was that the ordinary in our lives could be turned into reminders of the sacred by the simple recitation of the words, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Blessed are you, Adonai, sovereign of the universe. Awareness of God's presence is the first and most important way to bring the sacred to that which otherwise would be ordinary. The second is intention. And this is a bit harder to define. Intention is the active part of awareness. That is to say, awareness is passive. It is a state of mind and a state of being. But when one acts with awareness, that is intention. It's not something that is easily measurable or easily described. But when you act with intention, you know that you're doing it. Because you know that you are not separate from your own awareness of God's presence. You are at one with it. Of course, intention can be good or bad, depending on the particular awareness that motivates it. A religious fanatic might attempt to defend a seemingly indefensible act by claiming that he or she is responding to God's command. We have seen this far too often in our day. Now, one might argue that such an act is committed with intention, but actions that go against the grain of God's goodness, such as deception, cheating, and causing injury or death to innocent people, such actions are motivated by a corrupt awareness of God, for they are inconsistent with our understanding of God's goodness and God's desires for creation. One whose actions flow from an awareness of God's goodness, on the other hand, can usually be counted upon to act with a good intention. And this is what brings the sacred into the ordinary for such a person. And this is why the blessings are so important. for they are acknowledgments of God's goodness in all facets of our life experience. Finally, there is the product of one's labor. The building of the Mishkan enabled the Israelites to worship and commune with God, and it was a visible sign of God's presence among them. Its very existence, therefore, proclaimed God's presence and God's holiness on earth. It was sacred by its nature and purpose, and so its construction made all of the contributing categories of work sacred by definition. And so the question for us becomes, how can we bring this sense of holiness into our work? How can we do our daily work so that the product of our labor proclaims God's holiness on earth? If we can discover the ways to do that, then all of the contributing categories of work will become sacred by definition. We will have infused the ordinary in our lives with that which is holy. But in order to make it happen, we must do our work with the highest ethical standards we can achieve. We must do our work with the highest regard for clients and classmates, neighbors and coworkers and loved ones. We must do our work with the highest expectations for excellence in all of its aspects. We are, after all, Mamlechet Kohanim v'Goy Kadosh, a kingdom of priests and a holy people. And we are Or L'Goyim, a light to the nations. At the end of the day, we must be able to say that the product of our labor helped to make the world a better place in some small measure. And if we manage to do this, then we need to renew in ourselves the resolve to always make it so. And if we are able to do it, to bring awareness and intention to even a small portion of our daily work, then we will have turned some of our avodah into malacha and brought more of the sacred into the ordinary of our lives. And of course, in doing so, we will have turned that bit of avodah into malacha, into prohibited work, which we'll then have to refrain from doing on Shabbat and Yom Tov. Try it yourself in the new year. See if it's possible for you to move some of your work from the realm of avodah to malacha, and then refrain from doing it on Shabbat. You can begin tonight and tomorrow, and then again at the end of the week when Shabbat arrives. And on the ordinary weekdays in between, use awareness, intention, and the product of your labor to continue to move more of your work from avodah to malacha. Think of it as a gift, as God's gift to each of you, as it was God's gift to Adam and Eve. And each week when Shabbat arrives, unwrap the gift package again by lighting Shabbat candles. Read the card by chanting Kiddush. Savor the beauty of the gift in the blessing of your family, and allow it to linger in the taste of the challah. And then rest, refresh your bodies and renew your souls for the week ahead and for the year ahead. Shabbat is meant to be a foretaste of the world to come. Let it be for you a foretaste of dveikut, of drawing nearer to God and holding fast unto God. Begin with making Shabbat observance a regular habit in your home and here in the synagogue. Rest, learn, pray, and engage with your families and friends. There are ample opportunities available here at BIJ. Shabbat dinners and family services, Shabbat services in members' homes and here at the shul, chant and drum services for those who would like to experience a more contemplative service with music and meditation, and Shabbat morning Torah study for those who wish to add sacred learning to their Shabbat menu. Through these and other communal gatherings, you can invite God into your life to share in the keeping of Shabbat and then carry its blessings with you into the week that lies ahead. In this way, you can open the possibility of feeling God's nearness through the good and bad days, the joys and hardships, struggles, and triumphs that you'll experience in the year ahead. May it be a year of blessing and well-being, of good health and fortune. May God be with you in the coming year, and may you meet God from time to time in holy places and in ordinary places made holy by your awareness of God's presence, in sacred activities, and in ordinary activities made sacred by your intention, in holy work, and in ordinary work made sacred by the product of your labor. And may this world be a better place next Rosh Hashanah because of what each one of us is able to do in the coming year. Ken Yehi Ratzon. We continue on page 41, and we'll ask everyone to rise for Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'am, v'romamanu mikol ha'sham, v'kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav. V'atiten lanu Adonai Eloheinu be'ava, et yom hazikaron hazeh, yom teruah mikra kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'charta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, Udvarcha emet v'kayam le'od. Baruch atah Adonai melech al kol haaretz, mekadesh Yisrael v'yom hazikaron.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
Shehechianu, v'kiyemanu, v'higyanu, lahazman hazeh. Remain standing and turn to page 42.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon la'adon v'titnu yotzeh rishit shelo asanu kigoyei ha'aratzot Lo samanu kemishpachot adama shelo sam chelkenu lahem v'go aleinu kechol amonu.
page 43. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause the light to go forth over all the lands between the seas. And light up the universe with the joy of freedom and of peace. Thus it has been said, Adonai will be sovereign over all the earth. On that day, Adonai will be one, and God's name will be one. Page 45. To everything there is a season, a time for everything under the sun, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to laugh and a time to cry, a time to dance and a time to mourn, a time to seek and a time to let go. This is the time we remember those who gave meaning to our lives. This is the time we remember the bonds that tied us together, the love that we shared, and the memories that remain with us still. If you're observing Yahrzeit or in Shloshim on this day, please call out the names of folks who are remembered. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing. Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, is on page 46. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, ve'almad yivrach eritei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, uv'chayed chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv imru, Amen. Hey Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Leolam Almei Almaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yipar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yitale V'yithalal Shmei Kudisha B'richu Le'ela Ule'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbachata V'nechemata Damiran Ba'alma V'imru Amen. Yehei Shalom Rabbah Min Shamaya V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, kol yoshvei tevel v'imru Amen. Everybody can be seated. I'd like to invite to the bima the president of our congregation, Beth Israel.
Shana Tova. A few brief things. As Rabbi was speaking, I was thinking to myself, more than 100 blessings all at once here together, more than ever. I'm feeling the gratitude all together we've had. We've had joys and sorrows and challenges and whatnot, and it fills my heart with joy to be able to be here with you all one more time. So that our tomorrow morning, our family services begin at 9 a.m. and the adult service at 10. You'll, on the back of the program is a list of the events over the holidays. So if you didn't get one of those, you can grab one on the way out, but it tells you when all the services are. We are, as you saw outside, probably we have barrels again. We're conducting the food drive on behalf of Jewish Family and Children's Services and the food bank. There are paper bags in the lobby, so as you leave, if you'll please pick up a paper bag and bring it home with you and bring it back full on Yom Kippur. That is always greatly appreciated. Tonight for sure, but also tomorrow after the service when we go to Tashlich, please remember to take your car out of the lot and move it at least down onto the road, because after services we do lock the gates and we don't want anyone to get stuck. As we finish, if you'll take books and bring them back out to the lobby and lay them on the tables so we can switch them over for Shabbat service, for the morning service tomorrow. But leave the Rabbi Morris Machzorim that are in the pews, the red books, please leave those there because we will use those tomorrow. And then as we leave, allow Rabbi Gottlieb and Ricky, please to leave first so they can greet you on your way out. And then really quick, there's you'll see this flyer out on the table, and it talks about the different Shabbat experiences we have coming in going back to our regular schedule after the holidays and during the holidays, and Shabbat morning services, Torah study, Shabbat in the Hood, Friday night feasts, Shabbat Shalanu, everything we do, and the times and little descriptions of the services, so you can come find what speaks to you, one, more than one, all, and come join us for that. And I'll wish you Shana Tova until tomorrow.
Shana Tova. You'll turn to page 47A, you'll see there Psalm 27. Achat Sha'alti, the special text for these days of repentance. Achat Sha'alti me'et Adonai otav Achat Sha'alti me'et Adonai otav Shivti b'vet Adonai kol yemei chayai Lachazot b'noam Adonai ולבקר בהיכלו לחסות בנועם אדוני ולבקר בהיכלו Conclude our service on page 49 with Yigdal. Page 50B. Ask everyone please to stand. Yehi ratzon milfanecha, Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, shetechadesh aleinu shana tova u'metuka. Our God and God of our ancestors, eternal God of all generations, may your presence in our lives this new year renew our spirits and renew our strength. May it be a good year. May it be a sweet year. Tekiah Gedolah. Shana Tova Tekatevu. May you be inscribed for a good year. Shana Tova.
They bring the noise.